Hello, welcome back to the Bioanxiety podcast. Today on the podcast, we have the wonderful Anastasia, who is a litigation lawyer here in New York. And yeah, she's going to tell us a little bit more about her career, and I'll let you take it from here since it's your story.
Thank you, Juicy. So, yes, I'm a litigation attorney. I work in house. I run a litigation department for the telecom company that I work for. I've been in this profession for about 15 years. And the start of my profession was very interesting because I was a biology major to begin with. Everybody in my family, parents, my grandparents, everybody is a scientist. And I'm the first attorney in the family, so I went rogue. But the reason that I went rogue is because I was such an overachiever. I decided to take 2 semesters of organic chemistry as a freshman, and I failed second semester. And for me, that was just a pivotal shift in my career and also in being a perfectionist because I was a straight A student and I got my first F. So you can imagine how exciting that was. And I will tell you, I cried a lot. But what that taught me is pivoting and really being honest with yourself is so important. Because I was really following in the footsteps of my family. And then I realized, you know what, even though I love molecular biology, I got into the best honors program for biology in the nation at that point. And I decided to pivot to law because with organic chemistry, which is a weirder class usually in college, it wasn't for me. It didn't make my heart sing. So I decided to go 100% into law.
Why law? Like, what made you choose law when you failed chemistry?
You know, I've always wanted to be a lawyer since I was 12. And a lot of people told me that during like teacher parent conferences, people would say, "Oh, Anastasia is so not judgmental, but she I could see her being a great judge." And I'm like, "Well, I'm not that judgmental, but I'm just very logical, very detail oriented." And for some reason, reading laws just made me happy. It's one of those things that you can't explain. And initially, I wanted to do patents or trademarks, get a master's in biology, be in school for like 20 years, and then like start a job. And then organic chemistry happened, and I decided, well, yeah, this is definitely not for me. So,
You are such a Gemini.
yes, I'm also a Gemini.
Likes to argue.
Yes, I do like to argue.
So after you graduated from law school, how did you go about finding like your first role? Like, did you know exactly which field of law did you want to be in? How did you decide?
So here comes another pivot and another fail. So my motto actually is learn how to fail because failure shows you what you are either not good at or where you can make changes in order to pivot yourself to success. So don't be afraid of failure. Failure is actually very good because otherwise we wouldn't have the light bulb, right? He tried like 100 times and nothing worked. And then ta-da, we have the light bulb. So initially I was interested in transactional law and I thought I don't want to do litigation. Even though I love to argue, I'm not very argumentative in my personal life. And then 2009 happened when I graduated and the entire economy crashed. So when I was interning as a law student, I did mergers, acquisitions, contract drafting. But unfortunately, all of those jobs were pretty much gone. So through connections, through friends, I fell into litigation because those were the jobs that were available and ended up sticking with it. And also right after law school, I had to study 3 months for the bar exam, for the New York, New Jersey bar exam, which I passed on the first try. Woohoo! But it was the entire summer of studying. I invested into a Barbary class, which I would really recommend because law school teaches you how to think as a lawyer, and the exam is so fact specific that you should really invest money into a course. I took a private loan in order to finance it. And then afterwards, when I got my job, within a year, I paid it off. So I would say that that's a really good investment.
For the Barbary course?
So it's called a bar exam course, and there are different companies that provide it. And one of the companies, the one that I took, is Barbary. So they're very good.
So I know now that you are actually venturing into a new area of law. You are looking at privacy, right?
Yes. So another pivot.
Yeah,
I just love pivoting. I'm like, let's go here. Let's go
you
there.
know, change equals growth, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, how are you going about learning that? What kind of courses are you taking?
So for privacy, there are different privacy certifications you can get, and I'm studying for my CIPP US certification, and that's just specifically for US. You also have Asia, you have Europe. Now they have an AI certification for privacy. So I went to the IAPP, which is the organization for privacy. Currently, I bought their textbook. I'm reading the textbook. I'm highlighting. I joined a subreddit where people post their advice, their outlines, because, like in law school, for this privacy exam, you need to outline all the laws. It's very term specific, very heavy on the laws. And the multiple choice, obviously, they try to trick you between the best answer and not the best, but you have to know how to choose. So I've been also networking, reaching out to a lot of other attorneys, asking them how they studied, what they studied. There are also LinkedIn learning courses that you can take, and also boot camps that you can take.
That's awesome. What exactly is privacy like in law? Anyway,
well, in law, privacy is obviously all around us. You have our Alexas, you have the Instagrams that are listening to you and then giving you, your algorithm changes. But privacy, what I am studying for is specifically, for example, HIPAA and health, or telecommunication, or, for example, collections. If somebody calls you from a collections agency, there's specific steps, specific aspects that you can ask, that you cannot ask, especially for health records. What can you disclose? Do you need opt-in or opt-out? Do you need notices? And if you notice, every time you go to a website and you have cookies, that is privacy law in a nutshell, because what they can share, what they can share, what they can, businesses share your information or their information with you. And privacy is all around us.
nice.
Or not. There's no privacy
True.
in New York City.
What kind of advice would you give to somebody that's wants to pivot and switch careers, and they want to go into more of a legal field? Where should they begin?
I would say definitely begin with soul searching why you want to shift into the legal career, because being a lawyer is great if you're passionate about it, but it's not all it's cracked out to be, because many lawyers who go into law later on in life, or after a couple of years, especially if you work for big law, they pivot and become career coaches, or they want to help people. They don't want to sue, and be angry. Because, for example, litigation is a very angry practice, as I call it, because you're constantly, being screamed at by judges or opposing counsel. And then I would say network, or reach out to lawyers, reach out to judges, reach out to friends, go to Reddit, go to Google, read about people's experiences. And then obviously go to bioanxiety, because I did a little blurb for you about, where to look, schools, what prep courses, because in order to get into law school, you have to take a multiple choice exam, because, everybody's trying to make money on the exams. And also you should invest into a study course for the exam as well, because a lot of law schools, it's very competitive now, especially after COVID. Everybody decided to go to law school. I don't know why. So yeah, invest and study and networking. Exactly.
I actually grew up wanting to be a divorce lawyer, believe it or not.
Are you sure?
I'm being serious. From when I was 10 years old.
Maybe you can pivot now and become a divorce lawyer.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
All the couples would be getting back together, because I would be like, think about the love you used to have for each other at the beginning.
You can have meditations from a divorce lawyer on bioanxiety.
I think I'll stick to engineering for now.
Yeah.
What does your day look like as an attorney, a lawyer?
Depending what kind of law you do. So big law is a lot more structured. You are reporting to, the partner or the senior associate. It's very almost like cut and dry. As an in-house attorney, since I run the department, so I have a lot more leeway in how I structure my day. But usually, now I wake up, I study for privacy, and then I go into the office. So I get into the office between 9 to 10 in the morning. I answer my emails, sometimes even before getting into the office. And usually most of my day is trying to get through discovery, trying to write any motions, to respond to any motions, also meetings with the teams, different teams, in order to get more information for a case. And sometimes in the mornings I go to court, which is, I love going to court. That's where I get to argue. And that's where I'm screamed at sometimes by the judges. I have a lot of battle stories from that. But court is always fun because, you're in the courtroom, you're in front of the judge. I very much love psychology, so I love psychoanalyzing opposing counsel, the judge. And I have to share, there are 2 cases that I won during oral arguments of the other side's motion. And the motion was a winnable motion, and I knew that I might fail. But what I did is I paid attention to how the judge was talking and ruling on other cases. I just kept my mouth shut, and I won because the attorney on the other side, it was both times they were male. Nothing against males, you guys are amazing, but they were male, but they were very cocky. And I saw that the judge was female and she had a chip on her shoulder. So the guy came out guns blazing and she did not like him. So she just ruled against him. And
we
I
love men.
Yes, we love men. We love men. Bioanxiety.
Just to
and Anastasia love men.
We know you love men. Anyway, with this new pivot now, going into privacy and learning something new, have you had like any work anxiety, any career anxiety? Like I know that you're 41. I mean, you look 25, but
Thank you.
You are 41, so you are a little bit older. And learning something new, which I think you can learn at any age, whatever you put your mind to. Like, how do you deal though, like with work anxiety, with career anxiety, when these kind of things come up?
I would say structure your day and discipline. And also definitely I lean into fitness and meditation. And I know you post some meditation videos or on bioanxiety. But I say definitely structure, discipline, talk to your friends, talk to your network, bounce ideas off. And definitely I would say health and fitness, very important.
Therapy.
And therapy. I love therapy. Everybody
needs
go to therapy.
I guess, like, as one final question, was the one piece of advice you would give your younger self?
One piece of advice I would give my younger self is if you have opportunities and it's so scary, take the crazier opportunity. So when I was looking for internships during law school, I had 2 opportunities to summer in Moscow for a big law firm, like for Big Law, which would really make the trajectory. Like I would intern, I would get the job in New York, I would start making crazy big money. Yay, like it's like On the Suits, that TV show, right? That would be Anastasia. And then for IP, because I was very interested in trademarks, copyrights in the fashion industry, there was a position in Hong Kong. And I decided to go the big law route instead of the Hong Kong route. And then in 2009, I still didn't get the job because the economy crashed. So, you never know. So I always wonder, I don't regret it, but I always wonder what would have happened if I took the kind of not the straightforward path, but like the crazier path. And I would say, like, go for the crazier path, especially when you're younger, because like the worst that can happen is you fail and then you learn how to pivot and then you succeed after that.
I wanted to ask you about work anxiety and I forgot. How do we want to frame that question? I should say, let me end this one and then we'll ask. Um, thank you. That's awesome. Awesome advice. Also for other people listening. And it was good to get to know you a little bit better.
Yes, same.
Thank you for listening, everyone.